Has your current marketing plan been falling short of your expectations? Or are you just looking for a new way to increase your revenue and expedite your sales funnel? Well, today we're going to be talking about They Ask You Answer, also known as TIRE, which is a philosophy that's been transforming businesses across all industries. Welcome to the Medical Device Marketing Podcast. I'm Jenna, a content marketing manager, and for the last couple of months I've been implementing a TIRE plan. And today I'm joined by Claudia, a recent graduate of the TIRE coaching program. So she's really well placed to dive into exactly what TIRE is and give you some of her hints and tips and behind the scenes information. So by the end of this podcast, we're hoping that you'll have a really good understanding of what TIRE is, and you might just be considering implementing it for yourself. So without any further ado, let's dive in and start with, the big question. Claudia, what exactly is TIRE?
Thanks, Jenna. So TIRE, what is TIRE? TIRE is an extremely exciting content marketing platform, probably the best content marketing strategy out there at the moment to really captivate people on a digital platform. Now, we say it's content marketing. The difference with TIRE is it's not just a marketing activity. And in fact, if people think it's just a marketing activity, it will not work. This is a business transformational activity because everybody in the company must be involved in implementing TIRE for this to work. So it's really, when you say, what is it? It's actually a very simple philosophy from Marcus Sheridan that talks about answering your audience's questions and doing it in a really honest, educational and transparent way, so that you can build trust and become the voice of trust in your space. This is something totally different to what we're seeing normal marketing, normal marketers do. So people really have to, in order to implement TIRE, which is as I said, ginormous opportunity for companies, in order for people to implement it, they really need to, talk about things in a way nobody else is willing to talk about, show things in a way nobody else is willing to show things, and that's what will build the trust of your audience. So what can TIRE do for you? And what is TIRE? TIRE can make you the voice of trust in your space within 18 months. So it can really, put you at the center of, you're dominating your space, if you like, within 18 months, if it's done well. That's what TIRE has the opportunity to be. So it's a real David and Goliath opportunity, which is what's so exciting. So, even the smaller companies can do this exceptionally well. They just have to implement it effectively and ongoing.
Yeah, sure. And when you said there about, I think it really pushes you out of your comfort zone talking about these things, but because nobody else is talking about them, you really are, the person to go to. I think that's what's so exciting about TIRE, but it's also what, stops some people from doing it. So let's go on to the next question, which I suppose is, why might a company actually consider implementing TIRE? And, what will it help them to achieve? What will they actually get out of it? Because it is a lot of work. So
Totally.
Why do it?
Yeah, why do this huge content marketing business transformational strategy? What are you going to achieve from it? And TIRE works in multiple areas of the business. So, using your content that you're going to create, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about that later, what that content can look like, but using that content, you can pre-qualify potential customers or clients, which means that the people you're talking to are very bought in. So that's going to shorten your sales cycle. That's also going to increase your conversion rates. Now, if you have more qualified leads, what does that mean for your sales team? Well, actually, it means they're only speaking to people who are really, looking to convert, which means the rest of their time they can now spend doing other more, reaching out to more leads and things like that. So it optimizes your sales force as well. So it shortens your sales cycle, increases conversion rates. And then in addition to that, all this content that you're now putting out on the internet, because it will all be live online, significantly increases the number of traffic coming to your website. So it will also deliver ongoing leads for you as well. So it really works in so many different areas. But I think those are just the areas which are, driving revenue in your business, which are really, really important. But I think there's another thing that Tyre does that people don't always realize, and it's the company culture that it builds as well. Everybody is involved in creating this content, from subject matter experts, which is your sales team because they're in front of your customers, to the marketing team who are writing this content, to the senior executive who are freeing up the time to make this possible within the team. Everybody is involved in this. So it really, brings everybody together. What we found, interestingly as well, is it also really makes you understand not only your customers, but your business as well, because you're writing about it every day, literally every day. You're producing videos on it every day. So it brings a huge amount of clarity to you, your team, so the culture is a huge thing that Tyre also helps with. So it has huge impacts on revenue, which is obviously the goal of growing businesses, but it also has this fantastic impact on culture as well.
Sure, yeah. So when we say it has an impact, do you have like examples of how it, how much it has transformed businesses?
Yeah. So I think there's loads of examples, loads of testimonials that people can look at of exactly how it's done it. But I think when we think about what impact can it have on your business, so people who are listening today, what impact can it have? It's things about thinking about, so if you go to an exhibition or a congress, what's your lead conversion rate at the moment? And say it's 10%. Is that good enough? And probably people will say, no, it should be 50%. Great. What does that mean to your business if that can moves up to 50%? What revenue driver will that give you? Because that's the impact Tyre will have. So, talking about different examples, Tyre has worked across thousands of companies across all industries. There's no industry Tyre hasn't worked in so far. So it's really looking at your business and saying, what conversion rate do I want off my website? What conversion rate do I want from my sales team? How many leads do I want coming in per month? What conversion rate do I want from the exhibitions? And that's then where you can see the impact of what Tyre will do. So it's not really about others. It's about looking internally at your own business. And it's amazing what it can do. And, being realistic about it as well. There's no point in saying I'm going to get 100% conversion rate. That's never going to happen. But you'll likely be able to increase it 20, maybe even 30%, by really integrating Tyre into your sales process, your marketing, absolutely every part of your organization. And it's fun to do it. We've had a huge amount of fun implementing it within Podymos. So it is about what it can do for your company.
Yeah, and I think, it's fun and you learn so much through doing it. It's
So
just,
much.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've said it's a lot of work, and it's effectively a content marketing strategy, but it goes so much further than that.
Yeah.
But what sort of content does it actually involve? What sort of content do people need to be creating
Yeah.
to implement Tyre?
So there's different sides to Tyre. So the main thing that we need to start creating is these 3 pieces of content every week, 3 articles every week. I say piece of content, that's incorrect because really we should be doing videos as well. But if you want to start somewhere, it's 3 articles per week. And these are on what Marcus Sheridan describes as the big 5. So these are things that everybody wants to know about when they are deciding to make a purchase. And actually pulling back a little bit now, we know from data that 80% of the buying decision is now made online before anybody even gets in contact with you. Now, that was a study done across all industries, and it went from 70 to 90%. And healthcare is sitting in there as well. So we know people are looking online to make their purchasing decisions. Now, what does everybody look at? Jenna, if I asked you now, I'm not going to ask you what the last thing you bought was because I don't know what that was. But when you think about the last thing you bought, what did you talk me through that process? Like, how did that work?
Okay, so I searched for what I wanted.
Yeah.
It was drawer organizers, by the way.
Okay. Okay, great. We can
Yeah,
talk
so I
about
searched for that,
that.
and I looked at the ones that had what I needed, which was like 12 in a pack, and I wanted to know like the best ones, which ones were high quality, but also the price was like massive.
How
Like,
did you do that? So what did you like? So you found sort of a category that you liked, and then you sort of looked around at other versions.
yeah, so I could see them all. Like, I compared them all. you
Mm.
know, just looking at the price mainly to begin with,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
So
like diving into more information.
yeah, and you said also you wanted the best.
Hmm.
So maybe reviews, like what other people
Hmm.
were saying about it. The last thing
Yeah,
you want is to get this organized that then falls apart in front of you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So you just said two of those things. So two of the things that the big five articles are on is price and reviews. So everybody knows the first thing people want to know is price. How much is it going to cost me? And you don't have to say exactly what it's going to cost you, but you have to have an idea of what it's going to cost you. Because what happens if you don't provide that information? People are potentially going to go somewhere else. So the
Yeah.
number one thing is price. You then have problems, and that sort of thing. So, you maybe looked at the reviews, Jenna, and you were like, what problems have people found with this? And can I get over this? What's the solution to it? Things like that. So identifying the problems, the solutions, then competitors. So who are the other companies are doing this? What does it look like versus that? Then reviews. So what do other people say about it? And then finally, what's the best in class? So these are the five things that we know people look at an awful lot. So these are the five things we should be talking about in our articles. And this can actually be applied to any product, any service category. It's really about breaking it down into a really easy to understand way.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. Like, if you don't have that information, you can't find all of that information really easily.
Mm.
You just go look elsewhere. So, being the one to provide that information just puts you in a really good position to earn that
Yeah.
sale.
And here's the fun thing about Tyre. So, and if you read, when you read the book, they ask you answer. You'll see Marcus has a great example where he says he went to an appointment, and they said, Marcus, so who are the other people? If we didn't use you, who are the other people that we should use? Who are the other people? And he goes, oh God, no, I don't have to talk about this. He's like, no, I have to talk about every question that I'm asked. I must answer in an honest way. And that's the fun thing about Tyre. Like, everything that you're asked, there's always a solution, there's always an answer. And that's what builds that amazing trust. So, if you have a look at our website, we've got loads of things we talk about. Any question a customer asks us, we will answer it honestly and openly and transparently on our website, because that's the sort of stuff that builds trust. But it challenges you, to like really be able to do that. And it's exciting doing it as well, because it just opens up a whole new realm,
Mhm.
of sort of how you write content and what you do.
So, what would you say to people who are listening to this and thinking, it's just not done in my industry? I can't talk about this. I don't want to talk about pricing. I'd rather wait until I'm actually talking to the person so that I can justify it to them. How would you say to those people with those qualms?
Well, I'd ask why not, because when you have a look at pricing, um, what are the main reasons you don't want to talk about it?
So, it's expensive. You want to be able to
Yeah.
say, this is why it costs this much. Um, don't want your competitors to know how much it costs.
Yeah. So the competitors is a really interesting one, because so normally, and we can talk about ourselves when we look at this as well, we would say exactly the thing. In fact, we have all our pricing on our website, so we're totally transparent on that. But when you have a look at pricing, um, do we have an idea of what our competitors charge? We do. We have a
Yeah.
rough idea. We don't know precisely. We have a rough idea. Do they have an idea of what we charge? Most likely they do. Yes. I wish they didn't, but well, they definitely do now. It's on our website. And so that really it's also a big secret that's not a secret, because everybody knows what it is anyway. And we know as well that if we don't transparently put a range of prices, you don't have to put the exact price, but if we don't give people a guide, we're really giving them nothing to work with. So they're potentially going to go somewhere else. So, if we can build their trust on our website by giving the secret that isn't a secret anyway, then why would you not do that? I think people do get hung up when we talk about price about, yes, but I can't give my exact prices, or there's variations. Yes, of course there are variations, but actually, how do you speak about this with your customers? Because this is how we then talk about it on the website. There's always something you can talk about. You never have to give the exact, give a range, just a benchmark. What causes it to go up? What causes it to go down? Why are you more expensive than others? We had a client recently who said, yes, but we're more expensive and we need to have that conversation. Tell me what that conversation is. And they beautifully explained to me why they're more expensive than the competition. I said, great, that's an article. That's an amazing article, because then everybody can read that the entire time. Your sales team can send it to everybody, in emails up front before calls. It's a problem that's now no longer a problem because it's out there. So, I think there's always ways of talking about it. The other thing we hear a lot is, yes, but prices are always different. Again, with that, you can always say, well, and we're a classic example of that. If you look at building a website or, another type of, it's all dependent on all these different factors. But what we can tell you and what we do tell you is, this is what will cause it to go up. This is what will cause it to go down. This is the range of what an average website will cost. We never say this is definitely what it is, because we don't know. So there's always ways of talking about all these things, but it's working out how you can do it in a way that you give your customer enough information that they feel, they can then move forward in the journey. Because also, why are we talking about all these big 5 questions? Is to alleviate your customers' fears, concerns, and issues, because that's the reason they don't get in contact with you. So anything that we can do to alleviate those is going to increase your conversion rates.
Yeah, and I think also, the other reason that companies don't want to talk about it is they don't want to put people off. But if they can't afford you, why would you want to talk to them anyway?
Yeah.
It's a waste of your time. So you're qualifying your leads before they even reach out to you. So
Yes.
the leads that you actually end up dealing with are serious leads, and they are more likely to convert anyway.
Yeah, it's a really exciting, and we see that, it's a very exciting area, and it is transformational, and and it saves a significant amount of time for companies, and we've seen that in our own organization as well, the amount of time it's saved us by implementing Tyre, although it's an awful lot of work to implement Tyre, because it is delivering 3 articles a week, so you have to be ready for that work, but the outcomes when it's done well are fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, finally, before we go, do you have any kind of words of wisdom, quick tips and tricks for any companies that are listening today and thinking, this all sounds amazing, how do I get started?
Yeah, so read the book. They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. You can get on Amazon, all different places. If you want to talk, there you are. You have the book there. I think it's also above there. If you have any other questions that you want to talk to us about, go on our website. We have a web page that talks just about They Ask You Answer. I think for companies implementing They Ask You Answer, the book was designed so that you can do it yourself. But if you want to do it really quickly and you want to do it really efficiently, maybe think about hiring a coach. We are a coaching organization. We do focus just on medical device market. We do focus solely on medical device. But this will definitely expedite your journey. But you can totally do it through reading the book as well. So it's really what works for you best. But any questions you have, feel free to reach out. This is a really exciting opportunity. We're very excited about it, just because of what what it can offer.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Claudia, and thank you to our listeners. As always, if you would like to reach out to us, just head on over to our website, or you can head on over to our website and read some of our articles, or see our YouTube channel where we have loads more information on all of the topics you could possibly think of. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.